It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you, and welcome to this special edition of Science Bowl. The two teams you're about to meet have won once already this season. They're here today to decide who goes on to the semifinals. Let's meet them now. First, from Barnaby Manor Elementary School, please say hello to Jocelyn Knight, Jalen Monroe, and Anne-Marie Gonzalez. And from Scotchtown Hills Elementary School, here are Deidre Kennedy, Hayden McWilliams, and Katie Tavetti. And now here are the categories of questions we use on Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on Science Bowl, the easier questions are on the left-hand side of our board. They're worth 5 and 10 points. The tougher ones are on the right, worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest question of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points apiece. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. And at the end of the 2 rounds today, yes, we will have a semi-finalist contestant. They will come back to play Rogers Heights Elementary School. Let's make sure everything's working properly. Let's go over and check the buzzers. Jalen, would you try yours, please? Thank you, young man. Good luck to you and to Jocelyn and to Anne-Marie and Hayden. Your buzzer seems to be in fine shape as well. Good luck to you and to Deidre and to Katie. Are we ready to play?
Yes.
Oh, I like that. Congratulations on having made it this far in our competition. You guys are all great. May the better team win today. Let's go alphabetically B before S. So, Jalen, let's play the bowl.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, the fruiting part of a cereal like oat or wheat or corn has what same name as your hearing organs? Scotchtown Hills.
Ear.
Ear, like an ear of corn. Exactly right. Go green.
Zoo Parade for 5.
Zoo Parade for 5 points. Teams, what Thanksgiving fowl is invoked in the phrase, if you're giving up smoking quickly? You go cold what, Hayden?
Turkey.
You go cold turkey. That's right. Go green.
Zoo Parade for 10.
Zoo Parade for 10 points, teams. The ship of the desert apparently has limits because one straw too many will break its back. What animal am I talking about, Scotchtown Hills?
Camel.
The camel. That's the straw that broke the camel's back. Absolutely right. Okay. Scotchtown Hills, you're off to a quick start here. Jalen, get that trigger finger oiled up there. Jump in here when you can. Go green.
Zoo Parade for 15.
Zoo Parade for 15 points. Teams, animals apparently can be royalty. You can have a king crab. You can have a queen bee. And one of these flightless birds can be an emperor. Scotchtown Hills?
Penguin.
A penguin. The emperor penguins. That's right. Good. Go. Green.
Zoo Parade for 20.
Zoo Parade for 20 points. Teams, what kind of animal would be attacked by a farmer using a Go ahead.
Crow.
Not a crow. Barnaby Manor. What kind of animal would a farmer attack with a larvicide?
Larvicide. A maggot?
A maggot. A maggot. Judges? That's a larval stage. Absolutely right. We are going to accept that. We also would have accepted caterpillar. Thank you very much, Anne-Marie. Good suggestion there. Go red.
Zoo Parade for 25.
Zoo Parade for 25. The big one in that category. Teams, when a lemon shark young is in its mother's womb, it develops what same kind of maternal attachment that is found in a mammal. For 25 points, can you tell us the name of that attachment?
Umbilical cord.
More information, please.
A tube, transport tube.
Not
Blood.
Not blood, no, not quite, judges. Scotchtown Hills, what is that maternal attachment called that's found in mammal babies that is also found, surprisingly, in the young of a lemon shark?
Is it the belly button?
Not quite. You were all dancing around it. It's called the placenta. The placenta. That's the actual attachment, and the umbilical cord issues from that. But we wanted to hear placenta. Good try, teams. 70 to 85, advantage red. The zoo is closed. Where else?
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, your question is as follows. These largest of the world's seeds are specifically adapted for floating from island to island, Scotchtown Hills.
Coconut.
Coconuts, yes indeed. Those big coconuts. That's how they end up on all those tropical islands. Go again, green.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, a slender stem that takes root as it moves along the ground and produces more plants has what same name as a person who jogs? Scotchtown Hills.
Runner.
A runner, that's right. That stem is called a runner. All right, Hayden, good answer. Go.
Green things for 20.
Green things, 20 points. Teams, look at the monitor in the studio if you would, please. Teams, this is a plant you probably never heard of, a Brazilian rainforest plant. When it gets dark or too wet or too hot, the leaves droop. If you could take a tiny barometer and put it inside those leaves, you would find out that the leaves droop because of a change in what? Scotchtown Hills?
Pressure.
Pressure, absolutely right. A barometer measures pressure. In this case, it is water pressure that changes. Green.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25. The big one in that category, teams, is as follows. Thousands of years ago, the Polynesians divided all the world's plants into two groups, depending on the number of seed leaves that are found in this E-initialed baby plant part. Jalen.
Epidermis.
Not epidermis, good try. This E-initial plant part, this baby plant part, whether it has one or two seed leaves determines what group it falls into. No, you've already had one try. I like your enthusiasm, though. Scotchtown, any idea? Embryo. The embryo is the baby plant. Go, green, please.
Dateline science for 5.
Dateline for 5 points. Teams, the newly released Census of Marine Life is a shocker. Scientists have found And welcome back. Nice to have you here on Science Bowl today in our 25th anniversary year, our silver anniversary. And the students this year are as bright as they've always been. We're very proud of our Prince George's Scholars. Let's go meet some of them at Barnaby Manor Elementary School. Jalen and Jocelyn and Anne-Marie wearing their matching bear shirts over there, the Bears of Barnaby Manor. Jalen, tell us, what do you like best about your school? What's the best thing? What do you brag about?
The curriculums.
The curriculum, yeah, all the things you get to study there. Like, what's your, of course, I want you to say science, but what's your favorite class?
Yes, science.
All right, yeah, you took your cue well there. No, obviously you're a good science student, and you've got good teachers there at Barnaby Manor, too. That makes all the difference, doesn't it? Like, who's the teacher that sponsors your team?
Miss Lois Cicero.
Yes, and she's out there, and boy, she's got so much enthusiasm. You know, she really wants you guys to succeed, and that makes all the difference. She's a great lady. Did you have any alternates on your team?
Yes, we have one.
Who's that?
His name is Andre Newman.
And we'll bring Andre out. He's wearing a matching shirt, too. You'll be able to see that in a moment. And who's the principal at Barnaby Manor?
Miss Rhonda Gladden.
Absolutely. And she's been a long-time educator in our school system and an excellent person as well. You told me on another show that you wanted to be a paleontologist or an archaeologist or
A science
a
teacher.
science teacher. I like that, yes. I was a science teacher at one time, and I'd like to see you follow in my footsteps and those of all my colleagues. What got you interested in teaching?
Well, I would like to tell kids all these amazing facts about science.
Yeah. And see, you've got a nice personality. You know, you've got enthusiasm, a good smile. Kids would like having you, Jalen. Jocelyn, young lady who has 2 kittens and a turtle and wants to grow up and design clothes for them, yes?
Yes.
Yeah. And what other things do people buy for their pets other than clothes?
Collars. I've seen a dog with shoes.
Dog with shoes. Well, you know, in the winter time, we used to have a dachshund who didn't like to walk outside because the salt got in his paws, and so he would just fall down and we would have to carry him home. So put shoes and galoshes on the dog. I like that idea. So you have a nice creative sense about you. Why do you like Science Bowl? Why did you want to be on our show?
Because I would like to learn more facts about science and things I really didn't know. or things I would have probably never got interested in.
Well, we hope that you're discovering that. We hope you're learning new things and teaching us new things as well, Jocelyn. Anne-Marie, you are so good. You keep coming up with answers. You're whispering to Jalen all the time. How do you know so much about science?
Well, last year I didn't do well in science, but during the summer I like to study a lot about science.
Wow. So while all the other kids might have been outside going to the pool and playing ball, you were inside studying, and you're also a musician. I know you play the flute and you also play the violin. Is that right?
Yes.
So you're a disciplined young lady, and boy, you're going to go far. What do you want to do when you get older?
I want to be an animation artist.
Artist. So you're also artistically inclined. You got it all going on, Anne-Marie. Nice to have you here. Scotchtown Hills, you got it all going on too. Hayden's over there. Hayden, you're just as sharp as can be. How do you know so much about science?
I think it's because of our wonderful teachers at my school.
Oh, what a nice thing to say. Miss Doris and Miss Taylor are out there. They're just beaming right now. You said all the right things. That's why we get into teaching, to have young people like yourself pay those kinds of tributes. Who's the principal at Scotchtown Hills?
Miss Prevost.
Very good, and out there rooting for you. You have any alternates on your team? You did?
Yes. Ishmael.
Ishmael,
He plays
because
around.
Deidre was the alternate. It was nice to have her on set now. Didn't mean to interrupt you there. Hayden, what do you want to do when you get older?
I want to be a stockbroker.
Stockbroker. The guy's financially astute as well as scientifically well-informed. So I like your aggressiveness and your nice stage presence, too. You're welcome. Katie, nice to have you here. Why did you want to be on our show? This is your second year, just like it is for Hayden.
Here because I thought it was really fun to be.
Yeah. So if you didn't have fun last year, I assume you wouldn't have come back this year. So I'm glad to see you again. You look nice with your pink flower there in your hair. Tell me, what do you want to do someday?
I don't know.
You don't know. Yeah, it's a hard question today, isn't it? You know, because sometimes you decide on something and then you change your mind. Sometimes people really don't know what they want to do when they grow up, even when they're grown up. So we wish you luck. I know you're going to be successful. Deidre, how about you? Do you have things narrowed down yet? Do you know where you're headed?
I want to be a pediatrician.
Pediatrician. That's wonderful. Do you have any younger brothers or sisters at home?
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe that got you interested, because pediatricians sometimes can be very favorite doctors. You develop a close relationship with them. What's your favorite subject, Deidre?
My favorite subject is health.
Health, yeah. Well, that's tied in with science. They're certainly intimately related there. And what do you do in your spare time?
Well, when it's like, in the summer, I go swimming and I play tennis.
And you play tennis. Very good. All right. Yeah, tennis isn't quite as popular as it used to be, which is a good thing for tennis players. Then you can get court time, right? All right. Let's get back to our game. Lots of points to give away in 4 of our categories. We had our last correct answer from the green team, Scotchtown Hills, 135 to 70. Hayden, start us out.
Dateline Science for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Teams in New York City. The rule now is that because these are indicted, these are responsible for heart attacks and high cholesterol, all foods have to have trans what's removed. Scotchtown Hills.
Trans fat.
Trans fats, yes. Trans fats are now illegal to be served in New York City. Okay, Scotchtown Hills. Green.
Dateline Science for 15.
Dateline for 15 points. Teams, you almost don't have to go to the doctor anymore. There is a new webcam called a cardiocam that can take this by measuring the flow of blood going through your face. Scotchtown Hills.
Blood pressure.
Blood pressure or pulse. We would have taken either. Yes, indeed. Go.
Dateline Science for 20.
Dateline for 20 points. Teams, former tennis star Martina Navratilova recently tried to climb Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa, and she developed pulmonary edema, which is the buildup of fluid in her what's? Jalen.
Heart.
Not her heart. Good try. Buildup of fluid in her what? She suffered from pulmonary edema.
Head.
Her lungs. Lungs. Pulmonary is a word that triggers lungs, we were hoping in your mind there. Try again, please. Green.
Dateline Science for 25.
Dateline for 25. The big one in that category, look at the picture. There's a new book out called Radioactive, A Tale of Love and Fallout. It is about these 2 scientists who between them share 3 Nobel Prizes. What is their last name, that husband and wife? That is Marie and Pierre Curie. Curie, Madame Curie, and her husband. With radium, she died of radioactive poisoning because they didn't realize how dangerous radioactivity was back then. All right, try again. Green.
Science potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. Teams, you had to see it to believe it. There was Lady Gaga wearing a carnivorous frock made entirely of raw what, Hayden? Meat! She had a dress of raw meat. Whoa. Okay, go. Green.
Science potpourri for 10.
Science potpourri for 10 points. Teams, when you're sleeping and it's time for REM, rapid eye movement sleep, that's when these vivid events occur. Hayden?
Dreams.
Dreams. That's when you're dreaming, when your eyes are jiggling in their sockets there. All right, try again, Green.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri, he's going down the category for 15 points. Teams, it makes sense that the female lead in this new Broadway musical about a superhero is called Arachne. What's the name of the musical? What's the musical, Barnaby Manor?
The spider?
The superhero?
The Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, that's what I want to hear. Yes, indeed. Good. Go. Red.
Let's get physical for 5.
Let's get physical for 5 points. Teams, the U.S. Postal Service has issued a new stamp featuring this Pixar character whose last name is the unit that we use for measuring distances in outer space. Who is he?
Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear. You got it. Thank you, Katie, for your help. Go, Green.
Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. Teams, where in the world would you be if you saw animals like pygmy chameleons and jumping rats and lots of lemurs, but no penguins? Scotchtown Hills.
Madagascar.
Madagascar is right. There are no penguins in Madagascar, but there's certainly plenty of lemurs. Go, Green.
Science potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25 points is a multiple choice question. Teams, to see Proxima Centauri, would you use a microscope, an endoscope, or a telescope? Barnaby Manor.
An endoscope?
Not an endoscope. If you were trying to see Proxima Centauri, would you use a microscope, an endoscope, or a telescope?
Microscope?
No, Proxima Centauri is a star. You would use a telescope. All right, neither of you got it. Go, Green.
Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Teams, your question is as follows. The supersonic transports like the Concorde that do not fly anymore were able to travel at Mach 2, which was twice the speed of what? Jalen.
Light?
Not light. Nope. Twice the speed of what is Mach 2, Hayden?
Sound.
Sound is right. All right. Good comeback there. You owe Barnaby Manor on that one. You were both thinking the same thing. Go, Green.
Let's get physical for 15.
Let's get physical for 15 points. Teams, in order to keep one of these heavenly bodies from colliding with Earth, some scientists say put giant mirrors up there and try to vaporize them and throw them off course. Scotchtown Hills.
Comets?
Not comets. Good try. Barnaby Manor.
Meteors?
Meteors or asteroids is what we would accept. Yes, go, Red.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, if you don't have enough people around you to do the job, your crew is named for what bony body system? Scotchtown Hills.
Katie?
Katie?
Skeleton?
Skeleton. It's called a skeleton crew when you don't have enough people to do the job. You got that right, young lady. Good answer. Go, Green.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get, excuse me, let's get physical for 20 points. Multiple choice question. Today's electric cars run on batteries that are made from the lightest of all metals. Is the lightest metal fluorine, sodium, or lithium? Which one, Barnaby Manor?
Sodium?
Not sodium. The lightest of all metals that is used to make the batteries for these electric cars, is it sodium, fluorine, or lithium?
Lithium?
Lithium is the lightest of all metals. Yes, indeed. Go.
Let's get physical for 25.
Let's get physical for 25, the big one in that category. Teams, your question is as follows. What form of energy travels along the optic fibers that deliver the internet to your monitor? What form of energy?
Fiber optic energy?
No, that's not a form of energy. Barnaby Manor, what form of energy travels along those fiber optics to bring internet into your home? What you think?
Solar?
Light. Light was the correct answer there. Light travels along the fiber optics. Okay, try again, please. Green.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, multiple choice question. If you suffer from amblyopia, do you have a lazy eye, a short leg, or an extra toe? Jalen.
Extra toe?
Not an extra toe. You got amblyopia. Do you have a lazy eye? Do you have a short leg or an extra toe?
Lazy eye.
A lazy eye?
A lazy eye. Opia. Opia was your clue there for the eye. Go again. 3 questions left. Green.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems, 15 points. Multiple choice. If you suffer from DVT, deep vein thrombosis, Did you get it because you were tackled too hard playing football? Or did you get a very deep puncture wound? Or did you not move around enough when you were on an airplane? What gives you deep vein thrombosis? All right, Jalen.
The second one you mentioned?
The second one, a deep puncture wound? No. Is it a deep puncture wound that's associated with deep vein thrombosis? Or is it being tackled too hard playing football or not moving around enough when you're on an airplane?
From getting hit while playing football.
Again, you canceled each other out. It's not moving around enough on an airplane. So you get thrombosis is a clot that forms sometimes in the blood vessels in your leg. Go green.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems, 20 points. Teams, what P initial term is the soft part of your tooth and the solid part of orange juice? Jalen.
Pulp.
Pulp it is. You got it. One question left. Body systems for 25. Here it is, teams. The rods and the cones are found in this photosensitive area at the back of your eye. Name that area at the back of the eye where you find the rods and the cones. Come on, go out with a blaze of glory here.
The cornea.
Ooh, not the cornea. Good try. The rods and the cones found at the back of the eye. And what photosensitive layer? Hayden, Katie, Deidre. They know they don't need it. They've won already. The retina. The retina is what we're looking for. That's the end of our game. We'll be back. It looks like Scotchtown Hills has gone to the semifinals. See you in a moment. And welcome back to Science Bowl. What a great game today. All 6 of our players, they didn't make it this far for nothing. They were all exceptional, and we are just so pleased with all 6 of them. Let's give all of you a hand. You did a great job here today. Our final tally is Barnaby Manor 120, Scotchtown Hills 245. The Hills are headed to the semifinals. Deidre and Hayden and Katie and Ishmael back there, they're all smiles. Miss Taylor, Miss Doris, I know how much you've planned and practiced. You deserve everything you're getting here today. Congratulations. We'll see you in the semifinals. You guys, you haven't been here in forever, and look what you did. You made it this far in our competition. Jocelyn and Jalen and Anne-Marie, you did a super job here today. Andre, I know you're proud of this team. Mr. Sorrow, thank you for all your work. Please come back. Don't make us wait another 10 years before we see Barnaby Manor. Hope to see you next time on another edition of Science Bowl. Bye-bye.